welcome to the Carmelite Quotes podcast, where we share Carmelite wisdom to encourage and inspire. Today, we're turning our attention to Saint Kuriakos Elias Chavara, a Syro-Malabar saint whose life and teachings continue to inspire people around the world. We'll begin with a brief overview of his remarkable life and then reflect on his sayings to children, a collection of bite-sized nuggets of timeless wisdom that speak to both young and old alike. Saint Kuriakos Elias Chavara was born on February 10, 1805, in Kainakari, Kerala, into a deeply devout Syro-Malabar Catholic family. From a young age, his life was marked by an intense love for prayer and a devotion to God. In 1818, he entered the seminary, and in 1829, he was ordained a priest. But St. Kuriakos was not content to simply fulfill his priestly duties. He saw a need for reform and renewal within the church in Kerala. In 1831, he co-founded the Carmelites of Mary Immaculate, or the CMI priests, who were the first indigenous religious congregation in India. The CMI priests dedicated themselves to evangelization, education, and spiritual renewal, blending the spirituality of Indian Catholics with Carmelite traditions. So stay with us as we explore the incredible impact of St. Kuriakos Elias Chavara's work, beginning with his transformative contributions to education. Welcome back. Let's take a closer look at St. Kuriakos' groundbreaking vision for education in Kerala. That was one of his greatest contributions. St. Kuriakos understood that education was a path not only to personal development, but also to spiritual growth. He established a system of parish schools, insisting that every church should have a school attached to it. His vision laid the foundation for Kerala's vibrant educational system today. St. Kuriakos was also deeply committed to social reform. He cared for the poor and marginalized, establishing programs to support widows and orphans. His ministry was grounded in a profound love for the Eucharist and devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary. On January 3, 1871, St. Kuriakos died in the odor of sanctity in Kunamavu, Kerala. He was canonized by Pope Francis on November 23, 2014, becoming the first male Syro-Malabar saint. As a pastor and reformer, St. Kuriakos Elias Chavara deeply valued the spiritual and moral growth of families, especially children. In his sayings to children, he distilled timeless wisdom into simple yet profound truths that resonate even today. Let's take a moment to reflect on three key themes that are found in his teachings. First, St. Kuriakos reminds us that children are treasures entrusted to families by God. He says, "Children, you are God's investment in the hands of your parents." That's amazing to consider. Chavara taught that parenting isn't just a sacred responsibility. It's a partnership with God to nurture children's spiritual and moral growth. Chavara also highlights the power of good friendships. He writes, "Let your friends be those who love God. Good friends will make you good." Isn't that the truth? These words remind us how relationships shape character. And he urges us to surround ourselves with companions who inspire virtue and draw us closer to God. And finally, St. Kuriakos teaches us that wisdom and purity nourish the soul. He says, wisdom and purity should be spiritual food, like food for natural growth. This simple yet profound image challenges us to prioritize growth in virtue so that our souls can thrive in God's grace. So stay with us as we reflect on how St. Kuriakos' timeless teachings continue to challenge and inspire us to live God-centered lives and grow together as families in faith. St. Kuriakos Elias Chavara's life and teachings remind us that holiness is not a privilege for the few, but it's a vocation for everyone. Whether through his reforms, his educational vision, or his writings, such as the Sayings to Children, his wisdom continues to inspire us to live a life rooted in God's love. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow this podcast so others can be inspired by the life of St. Kuriakos Elias Chavara and all the Carmelite saints. Remember, we're available on all major podcast platforms, so be sure to follow us wherever you listen. A special thank you to Sean Beeson for our beautiful music today. And let's close with this final thought from Chavara. Trust your mother. God will hear the mother's request like the baby's request. May we never forget the power of that kind of trust and prayer in our lives. Trust your mother. Blessings from Carmel.